to sort of life after rugby, and that's one of the things that we talk about. So we've created the Health and Sports Network, and I've been doing some interviews, one-on-one interviews with sports people, seeing what makes them tick and delving into their mind and souls, etc. But one of the things is life after rugby and looking after yourself, your mental health as well. So you and I, we're on the same page. We've chatted quite a bit over the last couple of years, and we're on the same page around a healthy lifestyle, a holistic lifestyle, etc. So can you maybe explain to our viewers, I guess you're still really fit. You still played some sevens only a couple of weeks back. You've looked after yourself. Obviously, you and your wife, you live this lifestyle where you're eating off the land, etc. And you're bringing up your kids in that sort of lifestyle as well. How important to you is nutrition? How important to you is fitness? And how important to you is just maintaining that mental health as well?
Yeah, like once you finish, you go from being getting a lot of attention in your life to no one caring about you as far as what you've been up to, or and that's a massive transition for some people. Like you, all of a sudden, you're really important, and then next minute, no one cares. So you've really got to get through that, and there's the only way, it's really hard to be positive when there's, a lot of things going on in your life. Might be a health situation or a bad relationship, or, you're having a tough time at work. But if you can stay neutral, because negativity works 100% of the time, and it's hard to be positive. But if you can just simplify things, which is just stop saying stupid shit out loud, for example, because that just amplifies it. It's not ignoring it, but just, don't give it any strength. So just, if you got nothing to say, just don't say it. And that really helps. I know it's only a simple tip, but it's certainly saying it out loud amplifies it, and then you thinking it. So just one thought of it at a time, and just really just try and stay neutral. That really helps.
Yeah, it was one of the themes that I've found too, just talking to like-minded people like yourself as well, was that euphoria of running out, as you said, in front of 30, 40,000 people. And then you're playing a sport that you love and you're with your mates, and all of a sudden it's over. And then it's life after rugby. How do we cope? So for a lot of people, it's very, very difficult. And you've made that transition seem so smooth. So it's really good to tap into your mind and get an idea as to what makes you tick and how you've managed to do that. So what then drove you then from, obviously being a South Island country boy, etc., to moving up into the far north? Now here's your plug. Far north as a real estate agent. What drove that move?
I always to holiday up here, and what a great place to bring up the kids in the Bay of Islands. So, my daughter's sailing on Sundays now, and, there's a great rugby club, Kerry Rugby Club. But, it's like when the summer comes, it's like everyone's on holiday, and it's just a really cool place to, to be. And we've got beautiful 20 acres, freshwater spring, native bush. We live off grid. Big veggie garden, the kids, and we're just loving it. And as far as real estate, getting into real estate, I did my diploma of agriculture while I was playing rugby in Japan. I did my worm can at the rugby field. If you can imagine the farming infrastructure in a city. I did a bit of study up there, and I thought, I wanted to get back into farming, but this naturally selling dairy farms and beef farms and lifestyle blocks, it's a good way to get back on the land and get back in touch with farmers.
Yeah, bloody brilliant. What a lifestyle you're leading up there, mate. And stop posting all those cool videos on social media as well. You make me very, very, very jealous. So, hey, look, mate, I think I'll invite Kevin back in, because I think our time might be up. And it's been such a great chat. Great connecting with you again. Goldi, one last question. Where's your coaching future? What are you doing around sevens? Is any opportunities up there, maybe provincial sevens at a later date or anything like that?
Yeah, I just started to get back into club coaching this year, just helping out the Kerry Sevens boys. But yourself, like this time of year and getting boys back involved in a club team, everyone's scraping for numbers and pinching players from different clubs. And but like the kids are getting a little bit older now. I mean, that's such a big part of my life. I haven't been coaching for the last 5 years. But really want to get back into it now. And there's a couple of opportunities. I got asked to go to India this year to coach the India under 19 and under 20 teams, just for the Asia Pacific. But it was just too short notice. And I'm sort of contracted with work, so I'll look at that next year. Just what a great experience for the family to get over and experience a different culture and help out a smaller nation. That'd be quite exciting.
That is actually quite hilarious because I am friends with Nasser Hussain from India.
Yeah, that's who contacted me.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
10 years ago,
You, Goldi.
10 years ago, he was the captain of India Sevens who came out before the Commonwealth Games that I coached down at the Institute with Murray Meekstead, and I took that camp, and then Nasser now is the CEO, so he naturally
Classic. That's
yeah,
good.
I do really want to get him on because, hey, you're a CEO of a sport in a country of 1 billion people.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to find out how he's going to grow the sport in India. And, of course, I've just won Division 3 South in Asia.
Right.
And I saw your name popping up going, like. I'm going, why is he liking India? So you've answered the question. So, and of course, Jeff, he's been involved with Sri Lanka and the Philippines and all that sort of thing. So there must be some coin up there in Asia, eh?
Oh, it wouldn't be about the coin. It's just about, what a cool experience for the kids and the family just for a couple of months to get up and get immersed in that. And, we went to India about 15 years ago, and just before the kids, Sarah and I, and it was quite, we've been vegetarian since then, and it was a big lifestyle change for us since we went over there, and that'd be cool just to get the kids in amongst that.
That's the beauty about sevens too, is it is a leveler, isn't it? Because you don't need a lot of money for sevens. It's a smaller budget, less players, and all you need is basically a field with some goalposts, and you can run your own sevens tournament. And as Kevin and I have talked about quite often, is that the thing with sevens is if you can get that core fitness and nutrition and your skills, you got your Kenyas, you got your USA, you got your Fijis, your Argent, or whoever, they can all compete with the top tier nations, whereas in 15s it's very select, isn't it? Sevens is a great leveler.
Well, funny you should say that because I know we're almost finished, but I do want to get Craig's opinion on the games this weekend. Bit of a shocker of a poll the All Blacks or the Black Sevens are in. So we got Argentina up first, and that's actually at 10 to 8 New Zealand time on Friday night. They're playing the Argentinians who are going really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some team called Fiji. We play at 11 o'clock. And then Uruguay, who actually played really well in Hong Kong. Tough battles ahead for the boys. So how do you think they're going to go against Argentina, Fiji, and Uruguay in pool play? And will we make the cup quarters?
Well, I can't even believe you're saying that, but being in Hong Kong was the first time we never made a quarterfinal in Hong Kong, and it could be looking that way again if they don't, because they would have had a massive turnaround from Hong Kong to when they get to Dubai. So I'm expecting a different New Zealand team to run out. So but you look like you say, look at that pool, Argentina, New Zealand. Man, it's just so hard to pick. You'd like to think they're going to beat Uruguay, but I mean, a year ago in Dubai, Spain beat Fiji. So it's just so hard to pick.
Yeah. So between Hong Kong and Dubai, though, this is another quick question before we do end the show, and this is great. As Jeff said, we could talk for days. What is the difference when you go from somewhere like Hong Kong, where it's always going to end up raining at some point, to the desert?
Mm-hmm.
The conditions, how does the body react to that?
It is a long flight. It's a long flight to both countries. I mean, they're both hot. They call it the sand pit in Dubai, but you're staying. That was my first trip for New Zealand in '98. And you're staying at a 5-star hotel. And it's just everything's laid on in Dubai. They do it really, really well. And the facilities are great. And it's such a cool atmosphere at night when when the sun goes down, and that's when the party starts, and it's just a really cool atmosphere in the desert, in the stadium, and it just feels like in the middle of nowhere. But it's just the guys adjust. You just mentally adjust. It's just another hotel, another bus. You're on the little mini bus to another ground, another changing room. But it's a really cool atmosphere in Dubai, though. It's one of my favourite tournaments.
Okay. So, any last words from you, Jeff? And do you have any messages for all your great fans down on the coast, the might of red and white?
I just want to say thanks, mate. You're a bloody legend, and as we said, we probably should have got you on earlier for an hour chat. We could talk for days. There's so many questions I want to ask you around, obviously back in the day and some tournaments, etc., and life after rugby. But we've covered a hell of a lot, and I really appreciate you coming on, Craig, and giving up your time, and wish you all the best for number one, your real estate career up north, and it's a great plug for you coming on. We'll try and spread this far and wide, mate. So hopefully you get a few phone calls. But number two, your life after rugby and your coaching career, and hopefully you can end up coaching an international side overseas somewhere. So
thanks, guys. Really appreciate you having me on, and all the best with your podcast and growing it. And I think it's a really cool concept. As far as being a coaster, like I'm born and bred in Greymouth, and I always reminded people around the world, wherever I was, like whenever they'd ask me where I come from, or at New Zealand Embassy in Hong Kong or whatever, I always proudly say I'm a coaster. And there's I got a lot of family back there, and it's always home. So hello to everyone back on the coast.
Well, it's awesome having you on. And hey, we can always do a part 2 catch up anyway, and bring it to our viewers at a later date, because there is hundreds of things we want to talk about. I mean, who's that guy, Mark, that you might know, that everyone's been giving me grief about being a better player? I don't know. But anyhow, we'll end the show now. We'll get you to stay on for a minute there, Craig. And until next Tuesday, we'll see you all again. See you later.
Thanks, guys.